There are people in this world who can find a ray of hope in our darkest hour of despair.
Where's it hurt you? Come on, Holland, talk to me.
My name is Specialist Stephen McGowan.
Stephen McGowan joined the Army in the tsunami of emotion that flooded this country after 9/11.
He thought his country was in danger, and he wanted to do his part.
Stephen was barely out of basic training when war exploded in Iraq. Stephen stepped forward and said, "I'll go," so that others wouldn't have to.
He called me, said, "Mom, it took me 3 days to make this phone call. I volunteered to go to Iraq." He said, "My roommate has a 3-year-old son, and I think I should go before men who are married and have children."
McGowan made children his personal mission in Iraq. Even though he was a medic in a scout group that saw action and atrocities almost every day, he found beauty and hope in the faces of the children.
He just said to me that one Christmas, "Don't send me anything. Just send me some things I can give to the children."
The easiest toys to carry on missions were Beanie Babies. Stephen started handing them out to Iraqi children.
First one to the right here.
And the story quickly spread of the Beanie Baby Soldier.
Little did I know that I would be inundated with Beanie Babies.
The Beanie Baby Soldier started getting letters and Beanie Babies from American school children, and he would send back this, a photo essay he put together in the desert to explain to children why our country is in Iraq.
For me, the touching part was the shot of the soldier standing by himself and the line, "America will fight for you."
As a person who's also joining into the military, it helps remind me what I'm going over there to fight for. It's not politics, it's the people.
It is still played in classrooms. It still has a powerful impact.
This presentation that we just saw, there's no words for it. It's the human soul at its very core.
It just gives us hope that no matter what happens in this country, we have people like that willing to fight and die for us just to make sure that we can be safe, and it's really very touching.
Especially touching because it is a message from the grave. In March of 2005, Bobby McGowan broke down when she saw 2 officers making the long walk down the hall to her condo in Newark, Delaware.
I kept saying, "Are you sure? Are you sure? Steve McGowan, Steve McGowan, are you sure?" And they would say, "Yes, ma'am, we're sure." And I'd come back in the condo because it's such a long hallway. And I'd look out again hoping they weren't there, but they were. And I said, "I'm so sorry you have been given this duty to come and tell a mother her child is gone."
It happened in Ramadi. A powerful improvised bomb was timed to go off as the scout patrol drove by. The blast killed 26-year-old Stephen McGowan and 25-year-old Wade Tisdale of California. Stephen's best friend, Jason Hagan, survived. He's now home in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
I dream about it. I dream about everything that's gone on in Ramadi. We were headed down a route that I had made the comment to my driver just 20 seconds, 10 seconds before the explosion happened. I said, "Man, I wish we weren't down here." You know, because it's on a dirt road. Dirt roads are, they can bury these IEDs in the middle of the road. And when an explosion happens underneath these armored Humvees, good luck. There's not much left.
Jason was in the first Humvee leading the patrol. Stephen and Wade were in the 4th Humvee.
When I heard the boom, I turn and look and I see a huge black cloud. This thing was 60 feet in the air, and I could see the hood of the Humvee about 50 feet in the air in front of the cloud.
The Humvee was blown apart. Stephen's body was thrown into a deep roadside pool filled with oil and sewage. Without saying a word, Jason and another soldier knew what they had to do.
And we both looked at each other, it's like, we're not leaving any of them behind. We're not leaving any of them behind. We're not leaving any of them behind.
What they did is just remarkable. And a mother could never express the gratitude I have for them, that they did that to retrieve all of Stephen. Which even that's hard to say. But Jason was determined that all of Stephen would come home.
Jason was there at Stephen's funeral in Delaware and has been there for Stephen's mother ever since.
No, I wouldn't have made it without Jason.
After all, he was bound by a battlefield promise to his brother in arms.
One day we kind of looked at each other when things were getting tough and said, hey, if one of us doesn't make it out of here, let's make sure our moms are still being loved.
I talked with Jason. He's still taking care of me, keeping his promise.
Stephen McGowan is buried at Arlington National Cemetery, but the story doesn't end here. You see, he left us all something. Hope in its most innocent form. The Beanie Babies just keep coming in. The Delaware State Police and a charity named after a fallen trooper have picked up where Stephen left off.
The very first wave that came in, it was amazing. I think we had set a goal of like maybe 4,000 or 5,000. We thought that if we hit that, that would be wonderful, and now here we are 2 years later and we're hitting 60,000. So it definitely is pretty amazing.
Recently, members of the Delaware Air National Guard handed out thousands of the beanies during their tour in Iraq. Woody Gilger was there and remembers this little Iraqi girl who was scared of the soldiers until she saw the Beanie Baby.
That picture says 1,000 words. I mean, that's 90% of the time, that's the reaction we got from these kids. And it was a good, I'm doing the right thing type of feeling that we were getting.
And imagine how that little girl feels now, or any Iraqi child who goes to bed, maybe tonight, with the comfort given them from the heart of Stephen McGowan.
In that country, a lot of those children were told that Americans are devils. But when they see a soldier get down on one knee and hand a child a toy like a Beanie Baby, then that child will never be able to think of Americans as devils. And that's the future, that they have seen another part of America and another part of the American soldier.
If you can show them that America's not a bad place and we really do care about people, and this is kind of what freedom's about. We can love on you. If you can affect those hearts and minds, then Iraq will be okay, because they're going to grow up to be the leaders of that country.
And that is the gift that Stephen McGowan gave all of us, the gift of hope for the next generation.